Hey, I want to welcome everybody to our episode of Taco Tuesday with my friend Ronnie. Ronnie, I'm super glad that you took the time to eat some tacos with me.
Happy to eat tacos with you every time.
We've done that a lot, yeah. So we have tacos from one of our favorite places, Coloca's on Main. I think we've eaten there, haven't we? Isn't that one of the first
Several
places?
times, yes.
Yeah, okay. You're making it sound like...
No, it's good. I think last time you complimented me on how fast I can eat 4 tacos.
It was the fastest I think I'd ever. Just like you were talking too. That was crazy about it. So yeah, pretty neat. So we have a couple questions that we ask, and the first one is, how'd you come to the vineyard?
So I believe it was
it September of last year?
It was October. I had what I would refer to as a reckoning in September. Okay. Where I think God wanted me to be closer to His people, to people of God, to men of God. So I had reached out to Sean, the youth pastor, and you were in Alaska at the time, just asking if there was if you guys did any men's group, things of that nature, so I can connect with more people in my area, because I'm kind of a recluse. So
yeah. And that's how you came?
That's how I came.
You showed up?
You guys said, hey, we have Tuesday night group, you should come try that, that you guys were okay people. So I decided
we weren't crazy
to try the vineyard, and I came once and was like, this is where I need to be.
So you came with your wife?
I did.
You guys have a couple kids?
Came with the
your
wife,
dad, sister?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brought them all.
You did?
Yeah, I brought the caravan, so.
Yeah. And how long have you lived in Red Bluff?
About 22 years.
Wow.
That, so.
Yeah, and you're 25, I heard.
We'll go with it.
Plus a little.
Yeah, so no, I'm almost 35. I moved here when I was about 13. So.
Yeah, okay. So that's how you came to the vineyard. Did Sean, is that how you heard about the vineyard? How'd you hear about the vineyard?
So when I was a kid, both my parents were in prison. I would actually come eat in that kitchen for free lunch just to get some food and stuff. So yeah. I never went to church. I didn't grow up in a religious background or anything. So that was my introduction to the vineyard, I guess. Okay. And that would have been long before you and Dawn came.
You were like 15, 16.
Yeah,
Steve Agarda was
14,
the pastor here.
15.
Yeah, that's cool.
I liked the Tuesday night group, and I said, hey, I'll see you guys Sunday. And that was a wrap, man. I was like,
and then you've been here ever since, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. So what is something important to know about you? Your story is crazy awesome, right? Because I think the first time we hung out, we actually went and got tacos with Doug.
Yeah.
And you shared your testimony.
Roast chicken.
Yeah.
It's still a Mexican restaurant.
Did I eat chicken?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You did, yeah.
I feel like I got tacos too, but maybe not.
No, that's just a natural feeling for you.
So. Yeah.
But we did. We had the roast chicken.
Yeah. Not good in there, dude. I'm gonna
get it. Okay.
So your story. You mentioned how your parents were in prison. And your dad's, hopefully he'll do one of these with us. His testimony is like insane. It's so cool. But yeah, like what's important to know about you? What did you say? Because you're into music, that'd be something that I'm going to tell people, because I feel like you might not even mention that you're a really great artist. Making banging songs.
It's slapping.
Yeah, was that what the kids are saying these days?
I guess so,
they slap.
Yeah. just I like to make slapping songs.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess my story and my conviction is all about forgiveness and just love, man. Like I said, my parents went to prison when I was pretty young. Over drugs, things of that nature. And I grew up like I said, I would eat free lunch here, sleeping on friends' couches. I think my first job, I lied on an application. I was like 14. I said I was 16 and I had a work permit. I didn't. And I knew someone who worked there just to get money, to get a place. I got a place over on Minor Street in an apartment with a friend. And I had a lot of anger and stuff, in my early years, and it just started with my dad calling me about 12 years ago, just saying, hey, I'm sorry, and at that moment, I think that was kind of God's first working in me, was to say, to just let go of that anger. And so I told him, like, we can dwell on the past or just, start today and move forward. And that's what we did. And both of my parents are, some of my best friends now. I love them with all my heart. Yeah, so just being open, man, forgiveness and things. Like, that's my type of conviction. So.
Yeah. So you've learned, you've gone through some pretty challenging things that a lot of people don't go through, but you came out of it knowing the power of love and forgiveness and how God
absolutely, yeah. And that was even before I was agnostic at best when I was younger, you know what I mean? Maybe even swayed towards the opposite of religion and Christianity. And but I think God still works in people like that, you know what I mean, to bring him closer to him. So, and that's just what he did for me. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you and your dad Dan's story is one of those stories that's like so powerful. And then I've had the opportunity to see you interact with other people who are kind of going through like trying to discover God, and it's really cool to see how what God did in your life, you're able to now show other people how God wants to do that in their life too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and I still tell people, like I told you when I was like, I'm Ronnie, I'm a terrible Christian.
Yeah.
still just learning and taking it all in.
I now use that, by the way, to introduce myself. I'm a terrible pastor. Do you want to eat tacos though?
But it's true, man. Like, and I guess I'll just tell you how it started. So 2017, because my wife's dad is also a pastor at Connection his way. Small plug. No.
Yeah, yeah, we just met him.
He came to church a couple weeks ago. So, my dad, after he got back, he started going to a church down in Manteca, and just all the conviction and everything he felt, and he got really into it. So, 2017, they were having a men's retreat, and both dads were going. And they were just like, hey, we want you to come to this, And I was like, yeah, I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
And even leading up to it, Celia, who is very strong-willed, and I was just like, man, I don't like the weather. My elbow feels funny. I can't go.
She told you you're going. You're going.
So we went. We get up there. We go way up in the Sonora Mountains, and we're driving up this mountain just like this for 45 minutes, and I'm just like, where are we going? You know what I mean? What's going to happen when we get there? And we get there and we're signing up, and they're passing out these cards with these random numbers and letters on it, and they're like, oh, you're in small group, A3, you're in B7, and I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, you'll be bunking in this dorm, and so it's all just randomly picked. And when that happened, I was like, we walked away from the booth, and I'm pretty sure I was just cussing both of them out. Like, this is stupid. I don't want to be here. Yeah. I wasn't group with them at all, and I was just, way out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. I'm going to deal with my stuff.
So I think about 60 minutes of sitting on the car, just, being a toddler. I was like, I'll try it, I guess. So we did that.
So much sure of you.
Yeah. So we went through worship. It was on the second day. We had just done worship. We were in small groups, and we were washing each other's feet just to show like the conviction of Jesus, and to humble ourselves, and just be on the same level as our fellow, at the time, Christians. I wasn't in that group. Don't put me there. And after that, we talked about different ways to pray, like how you can kneel, and we decided to pray on our knees with our heads on the ground and arms out. And we went around the room, and the men were talking, or just kind of saying what were on their minds, praying to God. And it got to me, and I was already in my head like, don't say anything, just be quiet. But I felt this like overwhelming urge to just talk about my son. And so I told her, I have trouble talking about it just because of how strong it was. And I started kind of crying and breaking down, and the two men next to me put their hands on my shoulders, and I just seen a bright light from inside. I can't explain it. My eyes were closed. It wasn't like when you see a flash and your eyes are closed. It's this one came from inside. It was like my soul was awakened, and it was so much the power of their two hands on me, and wow. I felt what I guess would be described as that's when the Holy Spirit entered my body. And I had to get up and leave the room. And Jim and Dan, the dads, they actually seen me leave, and they looked at each other like something really good or something really bad just happened. Like we're either, he's either going to come back or we're going to pick him up like down the mountain somewhere.
Walking on your own.
And it did, and I went outside, and I could barely stand, man, and I was just leaning there, and I'm like, God, if that was you, give me a sign, And I don't know if this is cliche or not, but a little butterfly flew by and just landed right on the post, like, yeah, what's up? It was me, And so that was
Wow.
That was God's invitation.
And that was what year?
2017.
2017, yeah.
So, of course, I came back down the mountain and reclused myself, and I just kind of fell back into old habits. I didn't reach out to anybody, and like we know, God is patient, God is kind, so he waited a few more years, and it was actually this last men's retreat I went on, where the guest speaker talked a lot about like being the spiritual leader of your household and things of that nature, and I was like, man, that's who I'm meant to be, you know what I mean? So I came back, and I kind of like had written an itinerary, like this is what I'm going to do when I get back. So I just don't fall back into old Ronnie. And I did. I reached out to you, Sean. Connected with Doug, and did a little bit of church shopping and stuff. And this was home. Yeah.
And ended up here. That's awesome.
I did. Yeah. So, because even during like the 2017 era, I would not identify as a Christian. I would not say, I still had all these negative, like thoughts in my mind about, and just past experiences and stuff. But it was this time where I was like, man, I'm proud to be a Christian. I'm proud to say I love God, and I want to be around people who feel the same way. So
that's awesome. Yeah, your story is just incredible, I think. So get in that taco, because I feel bad about always being the one who's ask a question and then let them talk while I eat all the tacos. But like our last question we always ask is, what's God up to in your life right now? Like, because I think your testimony is awesome, and it's really easy because I had these moments in my life too where God showed up in a really powerful way, and it's marked me. I'll never forget about it. But like it's like that thing in the Old Testament where it's like you can't live on yesterday's manna, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, you know what I mean? You can't live on yesterday's tacos. You have to get new ones every day.
Yeah.
That's my theory. But what's God doing in your life right now?
So I felt like an urge. Like I definitely want to work with Doug. I know he's doing some work at Salisbury with those kids, and man, like I said, my background was it was full of drugs, things of that nature and stuff, and if I can help kids who are kind of going one way or another, just like Doug says, just talk, just start a conversation. I would love that, because I feel like a lot of time was wasted. Some kids, like they learn from their parents' mistakes, or unfortunately I was the case where I'm like, oh man, it'll bring me closer, it'll bring me closer. So I kind of went towards that lifestyle, and
it's like we either move away from it or we repeat it in a sense.
Exactly. So you have to break that cycle. Stop living on the sins of generations before you, and kind of, I think that's why my dad and I are so close, because we both have been there, done that, and we just understand each other on that level.
Yeah, you broke it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really, it helped me a lot to see him change his life and say, oh yeah, that's awesome. Where I want to be. So.
That's incredible. Yeah. Well, we're really grateful to have you guys as part of the church community, and your friendship means a lot to me. And
absolutely, I love it here. I love the Vineyard. I love the people, what we learn. I love the worship. Like everything about it's just home to my soul. Yeah. I think after church a couple weeks ago, like you get that you feel I got fired. I was like, oh, we're doing Taco Tuesday that I've been avoiding forever.
I know that's true.
I was just like,
after church, like, all right, Taco Tuesday. I was like, really?
Yeah. So
more tacos.
And that helps. And like I said, when you and I got together, we were talking with the younger gentleman. it really helped. Like during work, I think it said I cry 80% of the time. And so, you know, and because I stopped looking around the room and I used that time to just invite God into my life and heart and just to talk to me and stuff, you know. And so what I receive here is unlike anything I've gotten anywhere else. So thank you, thank everybody who you know makes the wheels turn here, because it's great. Thanks.
No, we're so grateful for all the volunteers and also too, it's like on Sunday I just had this moment where I was like, man, it's like when God shows up, that's the change factor though. You know what I mean? It's like otherwise we're just singing songs and hanging out, you know, which is good. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's really unique when God's present with us and ministering to us, and that's just like the cool thing, you know.
Well, it comes in at natural times, right? I mean, this, like I said, we tried a couple other churches, and everything just felt so like serious, and you know, things are looser. God wants to be in those natural situations. You know, you don't have to be on your best behavior for God to speak to you, for God to come into your life. You know? I just feel like it's way more natural here. It's come as you are, you know.
Yeah.
Like you're pretty goofy, you know. It's fun to see you up there.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm very serious actually. I'm a serious theologian, so I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah. No, we're just grateful so much. Well, I want to encourage you, if you have not had a chance to get to know Ronnie or his wife or his kids or his dad or his sister or anybody around him, you should definitely do that. But say hi to Ronnie, let him know that you appreciate him, and buy him tacos. He has never said no to tacos.
I'm gonna make a tiny suggestion.
Yeah,
okay?
Go for it.
Slap a thing of napkins.
No,
right here, and then we're not.
We've had that suggestion. Have you not? Do you not watch these?
I've watched a couple.
I refuse. I'm like, the best part is this. You can go for it.
No.
Oh, there's like lemon and no, that's part of the fun.
You can.
Here, give me your finger.
When the camera goes off, you're
no.
dump it in your mouth.
I might, yeah. All right, well, thanks for watching, and tune in next Tuesday and see the next episode.